Countdown.
Yeah. And we are live. My name's JP Berg, and this is Dumb the Wiser. Today we have joining with us a special guest, Mr. Sean Levy. How you doing, brother?
I've never been better. It's a blessing to be alive. It's a blessing to be here. It's good to finally chat.
Awesome. Love the attitude, man. It's a good positive tone to start on. So I became aware of you right in the midst. We'll jump right into it. Right in the midst of the 51st state thing that happened, and I was a big proponent of that. I still think, honestly, it's probably Canada's best bet to kind of escape the tyranny with the least amount of problems. But you did something very unique, and you got a lot of exposure at the time for it. I seen you on Viva La Fray, but you kind of trolled the conservative and the liberal conventions there. Why don't you tell us the whole story?
Well, sure. I mean, I can start from the beginning, the liberal one. Me and my friend, we're both political activists. We like to speak and preach truth. And we seen Mark Carney was coming to our small town. So big 51st state advocates. We decided to head over to the liberal rally. Mr. Mark Carney was there, the WEF whore, I should say. And anyways, we see Mark Carney. Yeah, we're going to go there. So we make our plans. We grab a buddy. He can't come. The video's off. Last second, we just decide we're going to just go on our own. We enter the building in our suits, looking fresh, looking tidy. And we masqueraded as liberals. And they adored us because, the liberals are all boomers that are pissed off at each other. You know how the liberals are, right? Sure. And they absolutely adored us. So they fell hook, line, and sinker. It couldn't have gotten any better. And anyways, we're in line waiting for Mark Carney, talking to everyone. Everyone adores us. Everyone loves us. And we finally make it in. And one of the staff sees us, the only two young people in there, and they hand us a flag. Right, a flag. It's been a while, so I got to jog memory. They hand us a flag with a stick on it for us to wave in the crowd. So we take it, of course, and we head to where the press was. So the press was behind. Mark Carney was kind of in the center with a mob of angry liberals in the middle. And so the press is facing us. We're not in the perfect position, but it's a good position. So anyways, I'll fast forward to the good part. We let him monologue for a little bit. Talking about all this bullshit, spewing his rhetoric, right? Sure. And finally, my friend goes, 51st state, and I go, save us, Trump. And the crowd ensues into chaos. I'm pushed from behind. My friend's pushed from behind. Employee comes to grab my friend. His name's Dawson. He grabs Dawson and pulls him out kindly in the back. And I'm more of an extroverted. I got a little bit angry because I'm getting pushed around. I'm getting shoved. Mm-hmm. So I'm screaming in people's faces. And all of a sudden, Mr. Taylor Swift shirt comes up from behind. And he grabs me and puts me in a chokehold. And now I thought it was security. So I'm not going to fight with security, right? Mm-hmm. I'm done. I'm done fighting. You guys won. But anyways, I kind of get the sense this isn't a security guard because he's going, you motherfucker, you come here, you motherfucker, you fascist motherfucker. And anyways, we're walking down. I'm like, who are you? He breaks my nice Ray-Ban sunglasses, which I'm actually in the midst of pressing charges on for that because he assaulted me, a random guy. And anyways, he walks me down as everyone's going, Carney. And it just shows the amount of, they were easily propagandized. And it really showed me in that one.
Dude, anyways, you walked right into the lion's den. It's like I told you before we started, like, bravo on the ball, sir. I mean, sincerely,
I didn't expect that, man.
I mean, honestly, it could have went way worse. Like I said, it was cool to see. It really was, man. I got the spirit of it. I really did. Yeah. I think it would be lost on a lot of people, but I mean, what I mean, you kind of feel helpless in Canada right now, and I can't imagine being your age and your generation and being politically aware. It's like, what kind of future do I got? You know what I mean? So it's kind of limiting your options. It's pushing you into rash action. Yeah. And I think beyond a lot of other alternative, more detrimental paths you and your friend could have went, I think making a political statement was actually admirable from my perspective.
Yeah.
So then, just to continue the story, you then went and did the same with the Conservatives, which I very much love, because bravo. Tell us the rest of the story.
Well, like they say, we're all in this together. If you remember the COVID, it's all the same shit. Obviously, the two political parties, the two wings to the same crazy bird, two sides of the same crazy coin, and we were done. I mean, we are done. Me and my friend are finished with this. For too long have we been trapped into this oppressive, which feels like a perpetual just nightmare. And we went to the Conservative rally, and we noticed a little bit more positivity, because Conservatives are they're obviously a little bit more passive, as we can see with the recent Charlie Kirk shooting. God bless his soul. But anyways, we've seen there's a lot more nice people, a lot more younger people, and we make it in. And I swear to God, there was divine intervention, because we got the best seats in the house. I mean, you could not have gotten better. We were front line, right beside his wife, by his entire organization. And it's funny, because I seen the same security guard that was at the Liberal rally eyeing me down across the crowd, and I was just avoiding eye contact. And anyways, I get up. I had an American flag this time. We came a little bit more prepared, and I said 51st state, and my friend was speaking about immigration, something, Dawson again. And anyways, we were escorted out, and I yelled, "Please fight for freedom," because these are my people, right? These people they were led astray, and I want to help them follow the righteous path, the truthful path. And anyways, I'm still pushed, I'm still berated, and it's just, that moment there, I lost a lot of hope in Canadian politics, because I'm saying fight for freedom, fight for truth, and I'm still being pushed by these people I thought I could call my allies. Yeah.
It's the conditioning, brother. It's just the other side of the dialectic, right? Like we're conditioned and put in these left and right tribes, and then we're pushed against each other. I truly believe it's some kind of mechanism of control.
Yeah.
We obviously have way more in common than we do with the ruling class and the irredeemably corrupt political class. And I mean, seems like every time we get close to noticing that a little bit, some big event happens to further divide us and further polarize us. And the Charlie Kirk thing was heartbreaking on every level imaginable. I was a fan of Charlie. I didn't agree with absolutely everything, but I agreed with most of it, to be honest with you. I'm Catholic, I'm a Christian, and that's very important to me. So it also hurt to see, because like one of the big Catholic premises is we don't let vengeance and anger dictate our behavior. It's all right to want justice and to feel passion, but we can't let it become anger and vengeance. And there's a massive difference between justice and vengeance. To want order versus wanting chaos is essentially what it is. But it's funny when you say the Conservatives, they have been led astray. And I mean, Pierre, like, how perfect did it all play out? We were all just like thinking, like, what the hell is going on? We're afraid of the government overreach. Right after the trucker convoy, here's Pierre Poilievre spouting all this, pre-scripted populist rhetoric. You know what I mean? And
he had a weak handshake, and you can tell a lot. I shook his hand, and you can tell a lot about a man and how they shake a hand. A weak handshake, face covered in makeup. He was a homo.
Just as contrived and fake and insincere as can be. But I mean, I think what captured a lot of the people is like, the dude is saying what needs to be said on some level. And it was all scripted. I remember initially it was Axe the Tax. It was he was speaking relative to banning his ministers from the WEF. How frequently do you hear him speak about that now, right? That's the biggest indicator that he's fucking absolutely controlled opposition is his silence. It speaks volumes. Why doesn't he just tell everyone, look, guys, Carney's a central banker. He represents an oligarchical class, and we're in trouble. If he said that, I would believe him. It would be that simple, right? Just like, because we're all profoundly aware of what's going on right now, at least the people paying attention. So to see how many are still stuck in this uniparty dialectic, it's very disconcerting.
Well, I think it boils down to IQ. People want to feel comfortable. People don't want to feel despair. And Pierre came at a perfect time to bring some sort of hope. To kind of call out Canada on some of its bullshit. Not all of it, some of it. And I don't think he did enough, and that's why he didn't win the election in the end. He wasn't radical enough. He wasn't far right enough. He was left. He was a liberal. He wasn't going to cut down the immigration, or what was he? 250 or something. His plan was to build more homes and let the same amount of people in.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the problem. And now we're getting subsidized housing by this communist Mark Carney. It's absurd.
Oh, they're just, I believe, as you do, that they're acting together. I feel that Pierre Poilievre serves as a pressure release for low-resolution Canadians.
Yeah.
And I hate to just attribute it to aptitude or IQ, because I think it's more psychological. With a lot of people are terrified. It's like so many people derive a lot of security of the conception that they kind of know what's going on. Yeah. Their worldview, their framing makes sense, and therefore everything else is within that lens. So something paradigm shifting, something that's going to rock and absolutely augment your perspective, like our government being totally fake, that's really scary for some people. But I mean, looking at the deterioration of our communities, I mean, I'm in a whole different part of the country. I'm several time zones away here in Halifax, and I guarantee I'm having the same problems here as you're experiencing there. The mass migration, and it's not some kind of ethnocentric statement. It just practicality wise, like you mentioned it with the housing, like you bring in millions of people, you're overwhelming the market. There's a scarcity, a synthetic scarcity. So housing values go up. What else does it do? Well, a surplus in the low skilled labor, it suppresses working class wages. So it's the double whammy. It overwhelms our healthcare system. It's what's known as the cloud pivot strategy to destabilize. And I mean, I just, again, if this was all happening in a vacuum, I could see why people would be like, well, maybe this is just, incompetent policies or bad politicians, and maybe we can operate within the system and fix this. But when you look at what's occurring in the EU, especially the UK, using that as an example, it's like this is an agenda being implemented broadly in all of the Western democracies. And in Australia, they're waking up. In the UK, they had that massive protest. What do we got? Nothing. I mean, some dude did a small protest in Toronto, and Antifa just overwhelmed them.
I mean, I'm filled with so much despair, yet so much hope, so much darkness, but there's still so much light, right? Because we're having conversations like these. And that's what brings hope, is that we're still allowed to have conversations like this for now.
Yeah.
And if we stop having conversations like this, then guess what happens? We spiral down into a communistic hellhole.
Yeah, 100%. That's the way they're going. You could tell. Again, we have an example to look at with the EU, who are far ahead of us with the agenda being implemented. Weaponized mass migration has reached way higher rates. They've already implemented their sweeping online censorship, the Online Harms Act, which is it's under the premise or predicated on helping young people and policing the internet from poor young people, but it's just a massive Trojan horse for.
It's under the guise of safety, right?
Always. That's the tyrant's favorite word.
It's for you. I'm doing this for you. I'm taking your guns away for you. You're going to get this vaccine for the grandma next door. We're all in this. They're all in this together. I mean,
you're absolutely right. And they're appealing to that propensity for pseudo-moralism, especially in Canada. It's part of our synthetic national identity. We're really good. Yeah. What are we? We're better than Americans. That's what we are. We're more liberal. We don't use guns like those crazy Americans. But it's kind of a stereotype. It's kind of an insult in many ways, because we do have a proud history if you're knowledgeable of it. I'm not a super fan of a Westminster Parliament system, but there is history there. We come from lines of people that fought and died for our freedom. And I mean, talk about a disservice to just be sitting here and tacitly accepting everything, right? It
should be proud. I mean, I recently dropped out of high school, but when I was in high school, I was just constantly. The propaganda that they would spew onto young men and young women in regards to the white man's history in Canada, how we're some evil, malevolent, sadistic monster who came over and destroyed the Native Americans. It's heartbreaking, because we're worth more than that. We've created such a beautiful society, and we should be able to enjoy the fruits of our labor for a little bit. But unfortunately, this government, these people don't want that.
Well, they want to inundate you guys with fallacious conceptual framings. Yeah. So one of them, I mean, not to get super philosophical, but it's predicated in Rousseauianism. Rousseau being the kind of the dude that thought everything of Western culture is kind of inherently bad. Yeah. And there's a noble savage, like man is good by nature. And it was kind of the antithesis of a Christian ethos where it's man is a sinner. and man needs to constantly be aware of the proclivity for sin and keep himself honest. But that's what it's predicated on. And this colonialistic, everything that was of European culture or heritage was predicated on subjugating marginalized groups. It's disingenuous. It's not accurate. It's a fallacious framing, and it's setting a lot of people up with this poor conception of history and this poor conception of identity. And it makes you start off as a young white male, especially like you're the hated class. You're part of the hated class. It's and for your age group, I bet you feel it even more so than I do.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm the evil white man.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad because in school, when I went to school, it feels like a millennia ago. But there, I mean, I went to a public school, so there's 20% white guys there. But I was the teacher's worst nightmare. I would call out every single one of their bullshit fallacies because they're so abundantly obvious. I mean, obviously, these teachers who have spent their entire lives in this schooling system funded by the federal government is obviously going to be spewing off the federal government's rhetoric and talking points. It's so obviously. Why wouldn't they? Otherwise, they lose their job, they lose their money, they lose their way of life, and they're cowards.
I think a lot of them accept it. I think there's a lot of true believers in the teaching realm, right? They're super liberal. They're very progressive. They view themselves as better because, like, at the heart of a lot of this progressiveness is this pseudo moralism. These people usually, now I am stereotyping a little bit, but that's fine. These people usually wouldn't cross the street to help somebody up, but they think that they're better than you because they hold these bullshit beliefs.
Yeah.
These things they were programmed to believe. But I mean, for anyone young, and I don't know if you've read yourself, but Thomas Sowell is great to just decimate this white bad guy narrative, this slavery narrative. Like, he puts slavery in perspective historically. All races enslaved each other. What's unique about white people and British, we ended it. We were
Christians ended it.
The Christians, 100%.
Force was a spearheading. Yeah,
absolutely. You're very right on that. Very good for you. You're very informed, man. I love that. Like, for someone of your age,
a lot of reading. Well, we're the future, right? We have to outburn this malevolent flame.
Now, what would you attribute it to? Because I know most of your peer group can't be as politically aware and as conservative and informed as you are. Is it your parents? Were they like influence you in your politics and your reading and stuff?
I like to be right. I am very stubborn, and I like to argue. I've been arguing ever since I could talk, which was probably 2 years old. I like to argue. I like to be right. But most of all, I like to see people do good. And I don't see good in liberalism. I don't see good in the leftist ideology. And I do see good in faith, religion, of course. I'm not a practicing man. I'm struggling with that right now, actually, and kind of which direction to go, speaking to our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, to just show me the light. Please reveal yourself, especially in the recent passing of Charlie Kirk. But to circle back to where I kind of originated all of my political identity, it would be my father. I give him pretty much absolutely. He entertained my arguing. So all of my debate skills came from my father.
That's important, bro. And I could tell right away, like I work, I'm a working class dude myself, and I work in a factory with a lot of young gentlemen, and they don't carry themselves like you. Some of them do. And the thing they have in common is good, strong fathers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the fucking difference, sorry for being vulgar, but the difference is dramatic. You're like, right away, a young man that was raised right stands up straight. He shakes your hand. He looks you in the eye. He's not intimidated by you as another man. Most of these guys are slouching. They're looking down. They don't know shit from good chocolate. They have no conception of who they are or where they're going. And it's like, I find it's just the emasculation of young men. And again, I think it's what you were mentioning with your school curriculum, right? Just inundate it with this.
It's not their fault.
Bullshit.
And that's what I preach. It's not your fault. You guys have been lied to, and I want to help you. This is what every time I speak to peers, I want to help you find, like, because I'm a confident guy. I love my life. I love everyone around me. I'm generally optimistic, and I want people to live a similar life as not as me, but the similar mindset, so they can enjoy their life, because a lot of people don't enjoy their life, and it's heartbreaking. It's truly heartbreaking, especially young women, but not only young women, especially young men. It's both sides, and it kills me.
Yeah, it's sad. The youth are suffering, man, and it's every subsequent generation. It's worse. There's a biblical concept, you will know them by their fruits, and our children are just getting further and further from the plot, man. I frequently say it's kind of funny, but they don't know shit from good chocolate, and they really don't. And it's relative to what we touched on before, where we both read Nietzsche. I read Nietzsche when I was your age, man, and I had nothing to gauge it with. And it really kind of threw me off a little bit, to be honest with you. But for those who don't know, Nietzsche was the first postmodernist thinker who posited we are now moving out of the realm of God as a centralizing logos, and we're going forward. And what Nietzsche posited was that we would have to then kind of figure out our own ethos. And it was based upon power. So that's that power dynamic that a lot of modern people inaccurately, I think, perceive everything through. Everything's some kind of power play or power struggle against systemic oppressive forces. And it's very inadequate. But without morality, to just get back to the point of it, like without morality, like how does a kid know what to do? You know what I mean? Without that logos in God. And again, you don't have to be some kind of fundamental believer or some kind of born again Christian or some kind of like radical Christian nationalist, anything like that. But you just have to accept that we require a logos.
Yeah.
We require a centralized unifying ethic for morality, right?
Well, like I said, morality stems from theology, and we've obviously strayed away from religion, from God as a society. And now look where it's led us. Rampant degeneracy. You have OnlyFans whores and guys getting off to them. It's such a mess. We are in such a mess, and we have to fix it.
I agree, brother. It's true depravity, and it's been normalized over my generation. And just to give you some perspective, I'm 42. When I was young, pornography was not widespread like this. Yeah. Pornography existed in video stores, like not Blockbuster, but those type. You would go in and you would have to like go behind a curtain and rent it, and no one did that. Like it was still utilized, but now like having it normalized. Like I talk to young people and they don't even realize it's wrong. It's just this curated, fetishized, topical pornography at your access to your fingertips. I can't imagine the detrimental effect it has on your generation.
Well, it's the devil taking advantage of lust at the end of the day. And young men, especially when they start hitting puberty, they're very hormonal and they're horny, right? And now they see this as an easy way of getting off. And I say young men today have more access to naked, beautiful women than any king in any other time, dating millennia back. There's got to be some negative consequence to that.
Dude, it's killing everything. It's now they're able to satiate themselves on their own. So there's so many young people that they've kind of been, I will say emasculated. I won't say feminized, although some have been, but they've been emasculated. They've been disempowered, disenfranchised. They're home now. They're leveling up the prestige on their Call of Duty character. So they're living vicariously through their video games. They're living vicariously with their lust, with their pornography. And I mean, how are these young men going to get out of their own way and get out and be strong and be a positive force in society? They're probably not, because they don't believe in good, right? Like if you don't even believe in good, how could you strive to be good?
Well, and when they finally do make the attempt of getting out there and becoming someone, they're pummeled with taxes. I'm a 17-year-old young man paying a quarter of my paycheck to taxes. I don't even get to decide. I don't get to help allocate my tax dollars through my vote. I can't even vote, but I'm paying a quarter of every single one of my paychecks away.
Oh, it's more than that, bro. It's 42% when all is said and done. That's right off the top of your paycheck as a quarter. But then when you factor in everything that you're paying in society and the economy,
I guess PST, inflation.
Dude, it's fucking nuts. At the end of the day, like I'm losing 42% of my labor.
Yeah. Like, give us a break.
And you could see if we had this beautiful society, I mean, you could say, well, hey, at least the money's going somewhere. But what are they using it? They're using it to further propagandize us with their state-sponsored rhetoric. They're using it to bring in more weaponized mass migration. The companies and corporations in Canada are totally addicted to these temporary foreign worker programs. The detrimental effect they're having is it's probably one of the biggest things we have to address right now. If we even have a prayer, is to right away we have to stop these.
Yeah.
And it's just, again, it's from every level, man, and it's hard to stay above it. It's hard to not get demoralized.
Yeah,
It's
nearly impossible, and that's where they want us, demoralized.
Mhm.
They want us angry and demoralized.
That's part of the whole process, man. It's like why all the leaders are so unimpressive.
Yeah.
Michael Malice has a great quote, and it's the how does he say it now? The ruling class is not composed of impressive people. And I truly believe that that's an intentional thing, because like they want to see all these just lame bureaucrats. They're not articulate. They don't instill any passion in people. They're not saying anything real. They're just sloppily regurgitating scripted bullshit just to perpetuate the corrupt machine. And I mean, that in and of itself has a demoralizing effect, because you're looking to, these are your leaders. This is who you're supposed to look to when you want change. And what do we see? We see Chrystia Freeland. You know what I mean?
Or that conservative Singh guy, that guy with the turban on, talking about immigration. Like,
yeah, that was why I shared that today.
This is an absolute joke.
I think it's probably like 30-some%. I don't know exactly, but it's an alarming percentage of our members of parliament were not born in Canada.
Yeah, it's I did research today. I was actually speaking to my father. It's 44 MPs aren't originally born in Canada. 44. That disgusted me. 44.
And it's relative to their demographics. It's like I said, it's and it's you got to keep it in perspective. It's not these people's fault. It's really not. I don't want to see all the rage misdirected at them. It's the government's fault. They brought these people in to take advantage of them and us. Yeah. And I mean, it has to change, and many of them have to go back. But it's important to keep that in perspective. I just fear with the radicalization, because if anything, that's going to hurt any pragmatic solution. If we're just going to start like shitting on the various immigrant groups, right? But what they've done well is they know how to utilize their politics. They know how to utilize their numbers. Yeah. They get in these demographics, in these areas where it's crucial. And that area where that Singh gentleman today that was going around, he lives in an area where South Asian is the majority population. Yeah. So that's Canada, man. Like it's not a multicultural thing. It's not like everyone's coming in. We're being overwhelmed. Yeah. Our cities are being overwhelmed. Our culture is being overwhelmed, and it's balkanized our electorate. It's factionalized the electorate into these powerful voting interests. And heritage Canadians, as the Dominion Society uses that term, but Canadians that were here, multi-generational Canadians, we don't organize. In fact, we fight one another. Yeah. And we don't realize how different this world is, right? With these other powerful voting demographics, like it's balkanized our electorate. It's a big problem.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I say is the infighting must stop. Mm-hmm. Like why are we fighting? We're arguing about the color of the rims, but the entire engine is broken.
100%. It's a good analogy. I say, like with Pierre Poilievre, he's worrying about the lawn needing mowing when the house is on fire.
The house is on fire, yeah. And we're sitting over here worrying about the lawn to make sure it's it's such a mess. And especially with the young men, the amount of where was I? The amount of I lost my train of thought here.
No, dude, I do it all the time. Take your time, brother.
Yeah, I'll come back to it. Where were we?
It's all right. I'll take over for a bit. You
yeah, I lost that.
Yeah, no, bro. The young men and the young women, it's just the children. They're being, I don't know if you're familiar with Yuri Bezmenov. If you're not, you definitely want to check this dude out on YouTube. This guy was a former KGB agent, and he came over here in like 84, and he did a famous interview on YouTube, and he explains the process of ideological subversion. That's where they utilize like critical pedagogy. That's where they influence the curriculums. And then it's also reinforced by like Hollywood, all of these different narratives, like where we got ourselves in this emasculated state. Like, look at the situational comedy. Look at the Family Guy or the Simpsons. Yeah. Look at the structure of it, right? Yeah, buffoonish male, a woman that kind of ends up saving the day all the time. And she's leading her family, not with the help of her loving husband, despite her buffoonish husband, right? So it's emasculating people, and it's doing it when we're at our most susceptible, right? When we're just kind of wanting to be entertained. That's when they propagandize you the most. And in correlation, utilized with this school curriculum that's poison. It's just, again, man, I don't know how young people have a prayer right now, and it's terrifying. I'm glad that we're starting to see more people talk about it, but
yeah, well, that's just it. That's how we see prayers, by speaking about it. I've dedicated I wouldn't say dedicated my life, because I do a lot of things, but I've dedicated most of my time with my peers to just spreading truth. and spreading hope. And listen, we're being lied to. You guys are all wrong. And that sounds crazy to say you guys are all wrong, to sit in front of a crowd of people and say that. And of course they're going to coup together and say, no, we're not. But the truth will come out through conversations like this. People hear it, they plant seeds, and one day, maybe just one day, we will break free from their grip.
We certainly will. We certainly will. And the truth just rings different, bro. It just hits you different when you hear it. And especially if you haven't heard it. You're a young man and you believed all this bullshit, and then you hear someone articulate the truth.
Yeah.
It could set your soul ablaze.
Well, that's Andrew Tate. I give a lot of credit to Andrew Tate. When I was younger, he was a big role model for me.
You started to get you thinking.
About 12 during the COVID pandemic, because I was subject to a lot of discrimination because I'm not vaccinated, and I was lost and I needed guidance as a young man.
Well, and that's a situation we're in, man. Like, masculinity as a concept has been demonized to the extent where it's considered a bad thing. It's considered a detrimental force. And Jordan Peterson, who I don't agree with everything Jordan Peterson has done in his later career, but he was huge for me in understanding some things, reading him. And he made a good point about it all. It's like when masculinity is deprived, when the young people are deprived of masculinity, they don't become less masculine. In very many cases, they can become hyper masculine.
Yeah,
because they don't know how to control it. It's like, to be a man, it requires great control too. Like, you know what I mean? You can't just be super aggressive. Masculinity, stoicism. Marcus Aurelius is a perfect example of young men to learn what masculinity is. Beyond Jesus Christ, I'd say Marcus Aurelius is one of the better patriarchal figures for young men to look to.
But they don't teach that in school. I've probably got 100 times more intelligent ever since dropping out, and I'm not. That's not even an overexaggeration.
I dropped out of school too, brother. I'm a working class guy, but I thought I was going to be a famous rock star when I was a teenager. I played in some bar bands and called it a day. Right now, I work in a factory, man, and I'm kind of looking around. I'm blown away.
Yeah,
but no, intelligence has nothing to do with education. The education system of modernity is just indoctrination. 100%. I think it's more a sign of intelligence that you can acknowledge that and step outside of it. Now, my daughter is your age, and she graduated, and like I'm just observing her work and seeing some of the things they were teaching her. I was blown away, and I would put it in perspective for her, and we would discuss it. My daughter's very intelligent; she knows what's up. But I mean, it's like, look at what they're trying to teach you. Look at how they want you to think. Look at what they're trying to program you with. That's right. And once you do, it's like I say, man, the truth hits differently. And look, man, everyone's black pilling. And I use this analogy a lot, but it's just fucking perfect. So I'm going to say it again. The way people are waking up in Canada, it's an accumulative effect. It's not happening as fast as we all want it. But think of it like a vessel, like an empty vessel. I got my Dora the Explorer cup. But it's like watching it fill with rainwater. It's excruciatingly slow. It's steamingly very slow. But eventually it hits the breaching point, and inevitably it reaches the tipping point. Dude, and we just got to keep being positive, keep speaking the truth, keep trying to have conversations, networking with people. Where you're young, it would be interesting, and maybe even starting a youth organization of some type. You know, young people for truth, anything. I don't know. I'm just off the top of my head, but like just to see you and to talk to other people, but especially you, where you're young and you're so enthused and you're so positive, man. It fucking gives me a lot of hope, man.
Yeah. Well, that's what I think I've been put here. Is to just give people hope. That's because there's a lot of starking comparison to Weimar Republic. I'm not sure if you're familiar.
Oh, certainly. Hyperinflation, the division. I could see why you would say it. Yeah.
Prostitution, and most of all, the despair and the lack of hope in a society. And hopefully we don't see another Adolf Hitler come around, because he gave the Germans hope, and he obviously committed atrocities over the however long he was in power, a decade or so. But I have a feeling that if we don't speak about this and speak about the comparisons, then we might see another Hitler, which would be...
Well, there's a lot of people that are reinterpreting a lot of these narratives. A lot of the World War II narratives are kind of foundational to our ethos. Daryl Cooper being one of the more prevalent that has looked into it. I find his work intriguing. The thing about war, and this is true of any war, is there's not black and white in war. There's just shades of gray.
Yeah.
And any leader of a powerful nation is going to have some blood on his hands. I'm not fucking making any apologetics for Hitler, bro. I want to make that known, but like we're starting to reinterpret some of these narratives and look to possible motivation.
Smart guy. And I'm not an advocate for him either. He was a smart guy. I've listened to his speeches before.
There's not a man on earth that isn't full of good and evil.
Yeah.
There's not one of us that do. That's why Christianity, it's acknowledging your sinful nature. And war can make savages and beasts of all of us, right? But again, it's intriguing to see how that's going. And you're absolutely right, dude. Like, if nothing gets better, things get worse until something radical happens.
Yeah.
And it's pushing us to extremes. And the division, man, it's like, dude, in Canada, they don't just want the left and the right to fight. They want the young to fight with the old. It's those greedy boomers. They want the whites or the gays, straight, every fucking variable metric. They want us divided and they want us at each other's throats.
It's chaotic. So we're focused here and we don't focus on what's above pulling the strings.
That's right. Yeah, it's classic misdirection.
It's classic.
And they love to see us fighting with each other and not looking up.
Yeah.
I did a podcast earlier with a few friends, Payman Ascari and Chris Erickson, older gentlemen, but I mean, well, not older, I shouldn't say that, but my age. And I mean, we came to the same conclusion, very similar conclusions. Right? I think it's fairly obvious or evident. Anyone who's watching right now, like, you could see the trajectory and you could see the potentiality for like huge danger ahead. Yeah. And I mean, we got to get involved. The scariest thing is I don't know if we can until people realize that Pierre Poilievre is not real. It's he's holding us back, man. He's a pressure release. People, and now he's very tentatively starting to talk about the mass migration. It's like, fuck, dude, where were you 3 years ago when you could have, prevented something? Like, it's so performative and bullshit.
35% of our population's growth in the last decade is through migration. In 2024 alone, 97.6% of our population's growth was migration. It's a serious problem.
Dude, I don't even think they know how many people are here right now. They don't know who stayed and who left after these programs. They're not keeping track of it. Because again, it's a weaponized mass migration, just like we've seen through Europe. And the premise, well, they want to overwhelm us.
Yeah.
They want it to cause a detriment. That's what I keep telling people. This is not incompetent policies. It's not bad politicians. They're actually very efficacious in what they're doing.
Sadism.
Well, even if they think they're not evil, that's what it is. That's the classic trope. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. Like, I'll tell you something about tyrants, man, from what I've read about them, is they all don't just feel like they can subjugate you. It's even sicker than that, bro. They feel like it's their ethical obligation to subjugate you. And they convince themselves that it's for your own good and that they know better than you. And that's the true evil of tyranny, right? Like, it's biblical. Like, Moses led his people out from under the Pharaoh, not into it. You know what I mean? Like, there's a liberation aspect of Christianity and the stories, that the biblical corpus.
Well, that's what I see a lot coming with liberalism, is they believe that we are the enemy and we must die.
It's funny though, bro. Like, is it liberalism though? Not, like, I'm not going to come on this strong offense of liberalism, but that's illiberal. Like,
that's just it. I shouldn't say.
What I mean? Yeah, but you're right though. That's how how they think of it. But it's so funny because it's so fucking illiberal. Yeah, it's the epitome of liberalism is from the root word liber, which means freedom. I believe it's a Greek.
I'm a liberal from the 70s. I'm a hippie from the 70s.
Kind of a classical liberal. I'm center right, like a fucking rational human being. I don't have to put myself. I don't have to put myself in a tribe. I know who I am, kind of thing. Like, I find that's what they want us to do. They want us to collectivize and factionalize and fucking fight each other. And if nothing but to spite them, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be one of the crowd and cause violence.
No, but and they've taken our guns away. Not only, like, is there one society where the government's taken away guns and good has transpired from that?
It's a bad sign.
Look at Maoist China, guns are gone. Nazi Germany, guns are gone. Stalin's USSR, guns are gone.
Canadians don't understand gun arguments. I was raised in the culture. I remember watching Bowling for Columbine when I was young after Columbine happened. Michael Moore propaganda film. A lot of people are anti-gun and they don't understand the alternative arguments. They don't have any conception of it. Like, you might get bad crime statistics with guns, but you also get statistics that, like, of all the people that were saved by having firearms in their home, by the more orderly nature of conceal and open carry states versus blue states where you don't, like,
They cherry pick the
crime rate difference 100%. And that's the thing about numbers, man. You could present, if you're a good rhetorician and you got some data points, you could fucking make them numbers say almost anything.
And then if you pervert the stats and the actual studies done, and now these numbers aren't even legit, you can go anywhere with it. Right?
And that's what they do. There's a big replication crisis in academia where these studies, they can't be replicated. So, I mean, clearly there's a lot of people that are skewing data to get for their own selfish reasons, but it's having detrimental effects. The fact of the matter is again, and I'll go back to it, just there's something just inbuilt with people, and we know the truth when we hear it. And I think, thank God, a lot of people are starting to wake up that we're being lied to in profound ways.
Especially young men. Like I say it again, I see a lot of young men waking up, but they're adopting tribalist ideologies, and I'm telling them it's not their fault. It's their fault. It's a two-tier. We're fighting the wrong people here. But young women, unfortunately, they seem to be lost with the feminist movement. But women tend to follow strong men over time, so I don't think that will be an issue in the future. The only thing I do see as an issue in the future is our declining fertility rates, because it's only happening in predominantly white societies where our fertility rates are falling, and it's that would literally mean the extinction of our societies. So I feel like that's a little bit important, but the young women don't. So
it is. And natalism is something that you see Viktor Orban in Hungary focused on. The leader of Poland, the former leader of Poland, had natalist things. That's where you're incentivizing your population to having babies. So 20 years ago in Canada, if I was in politics and I'm looking like, hey, we got a bunch of people retiring and it's not looking like there's going to be enough young people entering the workforce. Okay, let's incentivize people to have babies. If they have a baby, let's knock 25% of their taxes off. Or something, whatever the policy may be, but you're incentivizing your people into procreation, as opposed to just saying, hey, well, we'll just bring in foreign workers to kind of supplement the system so we could still give these people their entitlements. It's wild.
But we're the villains here. They've convinced us that we're the villains here, and for us to procreate, that would just be more monsters created.
You're right. That's why it's all correlated. The pornography comes back into play. The emasculation of the young man. There's your fucking cause, brother. Like, make a young men's society. You know what I mean? Like the young male society, and focus on like stoic individuals like Aurelius, and focus on being a young man. Stand up straight. Look people in the eye. Articulate yourself. Learn how to fucking make an argument. Don't stand slouched. Always be a gentleman and never lose your humanity. No matter what political tribe you decide you want to be in, or whatever, you're going to be conservative, you're going to be paleo-conservative or libertarian, whatever it is, don't let that your propensity for outgroup bias obscure your humanity. Always see people as the humans they are, and always know, man, even the people on the left, they've been led astray too. We can be led back. Like we can do that. I really, just as easily as we've been led astray, we can come back, right?
And it all starts through a cultural revolution, where instead of putting these ideas on them through violence, we just do it through schooling. We instill it through culture, where maybe we frown upon abortion, right, for a little bit, so we can get those fertility rates back up, and then we can have a discussion whether or not it's morally wrong or right, which I'm sure we both agree is morally wrong. But then we can have.
I'm pro-life. I'm Catholic. I changed those views, though. I used to be kind of libertarian on it. I thought, if you want to kill your baby, kill your baby. But now I just think that's abhorrent. I can't believe I used to think like that. I'm not an activist on that. I think there's more prescient issues presently. Like, number one, dude, if we have anything we can unify together on, it's like, let's ensure that our institutions have integrity and that our public servants are representing the will of their constituents. The will of the people of Canada, and they're not just serving an agenda, which it just seems abundantly clear they are. And I just don't think many people know what to do with that, right? Like, I got a friend, and they said to me, and I'll never forget it, they said, look, man, I kind of know what you mean. There's something really weird going on, but I can't look at it. Now, this is a female friend too, and she just, the way she said it is like, wow, like, I get it suddenly. It's not that these people can't see it, it's that it terrifies them.
And the truth is a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah, dude, it's like
hard
there's a monster under the bed, and they're
Mhm.
sitting in the bed and they're afraid to check under the bed and deal with the monster, right? And it's like we got to deal with the monster.
Well, I'm the opposite. I was granted a glimpse of what lays beyond the veil of lies at a very young age, and I can't get enough of it. It's entertaining. It's all a show, right? It's like watching a movie transpire. It's
Yeah, it
very
truly is. Everything is taken on this surreal quality, like we're watching a performance. It
yeah,
really has, and it's getting surreal, and it's really blackpilling a lot of people, and that's why I just and I don't believe it. I'm not a cynic. I believe in Christ. I believe,
yeah,
and maybe my lot is to suffer in life. Maybe your lot is to suffer in some way, but you
yeah.
have to be grateful despite your suffering.
That's
That's the nature. Gratitude is anything beyond gratitude is only going to make your journey way harder.
life is
That's
beautiful.
just
Life
true.
it's beautiful.
It's both, but it's more beautiful for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Good is a more powerful emotion, and you could have 10% good and justify 90% bad, right? Like it's worth it in the end, and having that ethos is important. And going back to postmodernism and morality too, dude. Until we fucking realize, like, yes, there is objective morality.
Yeah,
I don't have a truth. Sean Levy doesn't have a truth.
yeah.
Anyone else doesn't have a truth. There is the truth. And we all
Yeah.
have to orient ourselves around that. And until we get there, we're in a very dangerous spot, man.
Well, what if I was a psychopath and my truth was to kill people? Or what
That's
if
right.
my truth was a rapist and I wanted to rape people? And that
Mhm.
just spirals into a cesspit of abhorrent acts.
And people will say, "Oh, well, that's extreme," but it's not,
No, it's
because
not.
they don't understand the nature of morality. It
Yeah.
does come from it doesn't just come from theology. It comes from a religion. It
Mhm.
has to come from a certain religion where you set your logos, your ethos. Christians believe Jesus Christ is the truth, the way, and the light, and he is the living logos. God came to flesh to show us and die for our sins and show us the logos and show us morality. And I mean, again, you don't have to be some kind of like fundamentalist believer, but we have to accept that we're going to get our morality from a Christian ethic.
Some sort of dogma. And Christianity's proven to be the best through the test of time. We've built in the coolest civilizations, the most prosperous, right? That's all you have to look at.
And that's how I started to come around, dude. And then I started to kind of get it more, and I started to see some of the evil in society. And I thought, okay, well, there's definitely a God.
Mhm.
I'm so sorry that I went like 25 years without acknowledging that and stuff. Like, I'm going back to church. And now it's like to the point now where I used to have very intellectual, rational arguments for why I chose Christ and why, but now it's like I chose it and I believe it's true.
Yeah.
And I think it's a process. Like, a lot of people are hesitant because they're like, hey, I don't want to go there because I feel like a fraud. I don't entirely believe. I'm not there yet. But it's like, dude, jump in the water. You know what I mean? Eventually you'll get wet. Keep going in, man. And like, you get it. And slowly your brain starts to come out of that secular conditioning and you start to come back to God, essentially.
Well, then I have a question. I have a question for you as a religious man. If good always prevails over evil, how does good beat evil if evil knows no rules? That's the question I
Well,
have.
it doesn't. Evil can beat good in this realm, but
Yin
in
and
the
yang,
grand
right?
just in this, it's not like a Taoist thing. It's more of like in this realm. Like, I mean, we brought a perfect man, and what did humanity do? We killed him, right? It's like, yeah, no, evil. Like, man is. It's not that it's evil. We're man, and we're trying to be better. So it's a process, and no, it's like. I think in the end, good conquers evil, and that's relative to the whole existential journey, right? Like, in the end, it's God, right? It's not. And there's a lot of Christian theology that insinuates the devil has a lot of power here.
Yeah,
You look
well,
at the
it's proven.
chaos, the division. I mean, I attribute it again. I'm a religious thinker, so I frame everything that way. When I see the division, when I see everyone opening their mouth and venom coming out and vitriol, I can only think that's the adversary. I don't attribute that to like mental illness. I think it's spiritual illness, right?
I do too. I mean, that's where I struggle with Christianity. Is I'm so, like you said, I just got to jump in.
Dude, that's what I did. I'm telling you, dude. I started going to mass. I started watching Christians talking on YouTube. Wes Huff was good.
Oh yeah, I watched
lots of these people. Bishop Barron is great. And I'm not going to say like I was raised Catholic and then I kind of moved away when I was a teenager and then I went back there. But I mean, it's I'm not going to make any direct suggestions, but I would recommend immersing yourself in it, man. Immerse yourself in the scripture. I did the Bible in a year. on YouTube. That was cool because it's one story a day and it's digestible. And just start to immerse yourself in it, and then it changes you, man. It really does. I was an old cynical man, and it changed me. So I believe, man.
Well, both my sisters they're big Christians. My mother apparently just turned to Christ after the passing of Charlie Kirk because she needs something to hold on to, right? Something greater. Love.
I love all the people that are coming through Charlie's, because I view Charlie as a Christian martyr. Everyone's like, oh, he was America first, he was conservative first. Listen, guys, I've listened to this man speak ad nauseum, like just endlessly. He was a Christian first. And that Christian ethic was what permeated all of his other views. It came from that foundational belief in Christ. And that's what was beautiful about the guy. And that's why he had that demeanor where he could speak to people. So when I seen people being inspired to become more radical or be inspired to hold on to anger and resentment, I get it. Like, we're all human, but then you have to channel that into something positive.
Yeah.
Because we like Christians, we don't have that. We're not supposed to hold on. We don't strive for vengeance. We strive for order. And that's a big difference, man. And it's being more selfless about the rage you feel, right?
Yep.
But I love that people are coming back to Christ, coming back to the church.
We need it. I say all the time, Jesus Christ would solve all of our problems.
I believe that too, man. And it's for people that aren't religious. Like I generally stick pretty secular, but it's relevant to our conversation tonight, so I'm letting it rip.
It all stems back to it.
I believe that 100%. And again, I think without Christ, we don't have a logos.
Yeah.
And again, if once you walk away from religion as that centralizing, unifying logos, then you're in postmodernism. Then everything is a power game, and then you can collectivize in your different groups, and you could see everyone as an outsider and dehumanize each other, right? Like Christ is the ultimate unifier. But we've been going for 51 here. Let's check out some questions here. So we got MS8719. Carney's class are the Fabians and the Marxist socialists that believe in corporate monopolies.
Yeah.
100%. The Fabian Society is massive when you get into the conspiracy realms and how a lot of these things where they originated from. Rockefeller Society. A lot of all these things converging. I agree with that. So what else do we got here? We got Benjamin Betzile. Canada's divided to a point where agreeing with a banana would feel like an achievement. I don't really get that, but
I don't get that one either. Nice try.
The intent was there. Here we go. Sue Kellen Dyer. JP, what are Sean's top 3 policy areas? What type of government system does he prefer and why? Great question, Sue.
My top 3 policy areas would be migration, probably, capitalism. I'm a big capitalist, a diehard capitalist, actually. And then a third one. I guess having some sort of axiomatic dogma to go off of, like a religion, where that maybe the church is instituted through politics. You know what I mean? And I guess the type of government system, democracy.
Like a republic type.
Republic. Yeah, republic. Yeah, I'm a republic. Yeah, for sure.
Those are great answers, bro. They're probably my answers. If I was to think harder, it sounds pretty in line with how I would have answered that.
It's on the spot, so those are the top 3.
But yeah, that's about it. We usually head her at about an hour, Sean. It was awesome talking to you, brother.
Yeah.
I would really like it if you came back and spoke with me in the future.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely, dude. Fucking keep with the attitude, man. Do everything you're doing. And you're working too, right? Where do you work at?
I'm a construction worker.
Good for you, brother. Get out there working. Nothing will make a young man a man than working with old working men.
Yeah, just a regular guy working with a bunch of regular people. Just like us, we're regular people looking for change.
100%, bro. 100%. And the way we achieve it is by talking to people, having these conversations and networking. But again, Sean, I got to thank you a lot, man, for talking to me. It was a fucking awesome conversation. No bullshit. I really enjoyed it. You're a smart young man, and I sincerely admire you, and I look forward to future conversations.
Thank you. We'll stay in touch.
Awesome, brother. Do you want to tell everyone where to find you?
My X handle is Sean Levy with 3 Y's, SeanLevy with 3 Y's at the end. Yeah.
Awesome, brother.
Right on. All right.
Thanks again for coming on, man. And you stick around, and we'll come off the stream and say our goodbyes.
Sure.
Thanks for watching, everyone. This is Dumb the Wiser. I'm JP Berg. Cheers.